What's up, YouTube? Angel Eyes coming through the power of the internet. Now, I'm fairly new to YouTube, especially considering that I'm going to be showcasing Yu-Gi-Oh deck profiles. And just like the introduction suggests, I'm going to show you guys all the cards I do have and to give a little bit of a heads up for the future of what I'm actually going to be showing. So let's get into it. Try to be careful with the glare of the cards. I can't promise anything, but I'll try my best. Now, I like to play a lot of Blue Eyes. So lucky I got this card, Ghost Rare. And, I try not to play with the older cards I have, like this one, for example. Got this right out of a tin. It's almost 20 years old, considering. And so, I have to be careful with some of the cards I have. And, of course, likewise with Blue Eyes, can't play the deck without this. Now, I can't really say that I'm actually going to get, like, triples of every card, but I do try, so... But at least for cards like this, it's not needed. I try to get the structured deck so it can help out with the deck, or at least at the time when it was considered meta. But even then still. Yeah, glad we got reprints of these cards. They were too expensive back when they came out, so fortunately we got reprints. Likewise, I can't tell you how many times this has been reprinted. But nowadays you can get these cards fairly cheap and at a reasonable cost. And you don't really want to pay an arm and a leg just to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, considering. I'm glad Konami was able to fix a few things. And of course I like to play Madolches too. I'm not too thrilled with the link mechanic, especially considering I used to be really good with the deck, but ever since the links became a part of the game, I haven't really been able to play Madolches as much. I don't really have anything against links. I do like them, but it makes it much more difficult to play this type of deck now. Ultimate rares, you gotta cash in on those now. Can't believe Konami doesn't really want to make too many of them anymore. But can't be helped, I guess. Another deck I like to play is also Necros. Ritual is pretty much my favorite summoning mechanic, and I've been playing Ritual ever since like Relinquish came out. Sorry about the focus. Camera's not exactly that good. I do play the Wind Witch engine for the speedroids, but the problem is I don't know where the other ones are, like the Glass Bell and Snow Bell? Ice Bell or whatever? Yeah. Also like to play Light Sworns too. I've been playing with these ones for a very long time, and I'm kind of a fan of the new Ultra Rares. I really dig the holofoil stars and whatnot. I'm glad they changed a few things. These ones needed a reprint. They were kind of expensive, like back in the day. Well, kind of, but it all adds up if you want to get all of them. Now, if you have an ultimate rare of this, I strongly recommend you hold on to that. It's going to be worth a lot of money in the future. It's worth quite a bit right now. Maybe like 15 or 20 bucks depending on where you go, I guess. Just come on, Konami, bring back ultimate rares. I know they have them in the OTS, but no. Figured I may as well actually pick this one up. There's some odds and ends I have. And this is another card that used to be really expensive, and now it's not, and I'm glad. I don't want to have to pay $20 for a card. Again with the glare, sorry. Judgment Dragons. Now, the thing is, I thought I was able to pick up Punishment Dragons, but I guess it eluded my attention. I'm kind of disappointed about that, but things happen. Now, here's something I never really tried before. I didn't try playing Dragoonides back then, but I figured because these got reprinted, I wanted to give them a shot, and it turns out I'm actually pretty good with them, regardless of the link format. That's surprising. I should have picked up a second and third. Sometimes I procrastinate, and I tend not to get all the cards I need. Even if it's not really needed, I still would prefer to have 3 copies, just in case. Your staff and chair combo. Time Maidens. Lots of these cards are really cheap now, like 25 cents for a lot of them. This, because I like to play Speedroids, but the problem is I think it only works for like once a duel. But, oh well, can't be helped. Again, more Speedroids for the Speedroid engine. Now here's the funny thing is about this card. Okay, a lot of old cards technically, they're getting more expensive, but this one, before it went skyrocketed with the prices, I actually picked 3 of them up for like 25 cents each. And now the price on these cards are through the roof now. If you want to place it, you're going to pay. That's not exactly a good thing, considering not everybody has a lot of money. Anyways, moving on. Some wind support for Speedroids. And sorry with the focus. Time Lords. Definitely, I don't really play too many of them, but I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to find room to put them in a deck or something. Now, Christia. I really wish I had this card in Secret Rare, but again, too much. Some Psychics for Psychic Engines. Now, this card was really good in Light Swords. I couldn't tell you how many times it's actually helped me out. Again, some more Ultimate Rares. Galaxy Wizard to help out for the blue eyes, so I can go into the Xyz easier. Gozuki, I'm glad I was able to get my hands on these. Now with the new structure deck that came out for the zombies, the zombie horde or whatever, I'm glad they were able to make these cards commons, because at least now it's easier to get your hands on them. And if you liked playing a Banisher deck, like I do, Eater of Millions, really good card to have. Now the funny thing is about this card is, back when it came out as a secret rare, it was really expensive, but now like a lot of them are like 25 cents, not even. And this card especially needed a reprint. Some Performages. Figured, hey, why not pick those up, right? Speedroids. Now, problem is with Manju, I can't believe I wasn't able to find a third one. I don't know what happened to the other one, but I don't have all the cards on hand right now. Most of them, but I'm sure I can find them lying around. Same thing with Galaxy Soldier. Don't know where the other 2 is. Effect Veiler, you gotta have these. Now, the interesting thing about the Mayakashis is I thought they were going to be a very promising deck. I don't always have to actually pick up the cards just to make a deck. Sometimes I like to collect things. And, I like the cards, so hey, why not? It's cheap enough, justifiable. Now from the zombie structure deck, that's kind of sad. He used to be he was a synchro, and now he's totally zombified. As if the Walking Dead came into Yu-Gi-Oh. Really good card to have. Yeah, like even for the commons, like you gotta pick this structure deck up. There's a lot of staples that can help you. Now I don't really buy too many packs. This one just came right out of it. That's what I got. Really buy singles, and opening packs gets kind of pricey after a little while. And that's unfortunate. Really liked Maxi. There's a lot of decks that really needed that. And considering that Ritual is pretty much my favorite summoning mechanic, why not? Blue Eyes. Nekroz. Always loved playing Nekroz. Just can't go wrong with it. I'm so glad we're getting reprints. I only have 1 Trish. It's too bad. Brio is at 1 and Unicorn is at 1. Try and pick up Ultimate Rares while you can, because, Konami's not making too many of them anymore. And when they do, and they put them in this OTS pack, they charge too much for them. Colossalus. I don't really use all the Necros. I recommend using at least one of this guy, though. Definitely. Really need this back at 3. If you have this at 3, the deck is so helpful, especially for Herald of the Arclight and the Kaleidoscope. Herald deck, I plan on doing something like that in the future. Triple Relinquished. This is from a special collector's, and I was able to actually pick up all 3 at once for fairly a decent price, and I'm actually quite surprised. Herald, and unfortunately I couldn't get 3 Ghost Rares. I'd imagine eventually I'd probably be able to find another one lying around, but unfortunately right now I just couldn't get 3. Cyber Angels to help out. Moving on to the spell cards. I can't believe people, like even for this card especially, like paying more than like $40-50, and especially when this was $100, people paid $300 to get 3 of these. Rather ridiculous. Like even if you don't, especially for people who don't really want to go to, events, you don't have to pay that much money. Sometimes it's just better just to save your money and wait till they get reprinted. Dark Magicians, I'm still building that, so can't do anything about showing a deck of that anytime soon. Melodies, all the Blue Eye supports. Trade-ins. I tried to max rare on pretty much everything I can. Really glad these got reprinted. Commons are nice, but sometimes you want to holify your entire deck. Again, some more staples. Insta-fusion. This is a very good combo with the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit if you're going to go into a synchro play. I'm really surprised this card actually got really expensive, especially the secret rares. And last I checked, each one was like $20. And like ever since the links just started coming out, this card just skyrocketed. And I don't understand why. There's plenty of commons like that. Even if it's secret, it doesn't change how the card is used. Ties, I'm glad we got more reprints of this one. Now this one's been getting a little bit of hype. Anti-magic arrows. Some banishing cards because I do like to play the Gren Banisher deck. Speedroids, personal favorite. I'm really glad we got a reprint of Brilliant Fusion. Really needed that. Honestly, more ultimate rares. Come on, Konami, bring ultimate rares back. I know, OTS we have those, but not everyone is willing to. Not everyone's willing to pay for those, especially for the exorbitant price that they're charging now. Twilight Swarns, Light Swarns. Don't have a third one. Really wish I did. Now I had a second one, and I should have kept it, but I guess one's all you really need. Soul Charge. I love playing rituals. I have an extra copies. Preps. Stuff to summon from the deck. Well, not from the deck. Tribute from the deck. Kaleidoscope, really, really good with Unicorn. Really good with Herald of Arclight. Increase your search combos. You gotta have that. Some Cyber Angels. Now, onto the trap cards. I don't have too many of them. Mirror Forces. Always loved having this card. Always loved using it. Such a shame. This one was way better. Way better using this. Just send stuff back to the deck. This, if you have Blue Eyes and you play Blue Eyes Ritual, even better. Now, I don't have any I don't really have much Dark Lords, and I don't plan on making the deck, but just some added, extra cards to collect. Cheap price. Solemn cards. Don't know where the Solemn Strike is. Gotta look for it. Now, this card, this is hilarious. This card's actually kind of pricey, and I won this in an auction on eBay for like $2 or $3, and I'm surprised the seller didn't, cancel it and refund it, considering, wow, scored big time. But yeah, if you get the Zombie Horde Structured deck, you get commons. Again, more Dark Magician stuff. I'm working on the Dark Magicians. Now, moving on to the extra deck stuff. Again, more Blue Eye stuff. I'm sorry about the glare. Try to bear with it. Can't get 3s on every card I'm after, which I try to do. I love Dragonides. I really grew on it. Sorry, grew on me. It turns out I'm really good at the deck now. Didn't even take that much practice. Red Eyes. Glad this one came out. Good for, synchro decks. Omega, gotta have that. Really expensive back in the day. Odin, Father of the Aesir, or whatever. Get the ghost rails while you can. They're becoming much more difficult to find. And when you do find them, a lot of them are getting more pricier. Trish, same thing. It was pricey back then, not anymore. Stardust Spark Warrior. Charge Warrior, sorry. Really should get another one of these. Especially if you play Speedroids. You never know if you might go into them. Glad I picked up 3 of this. Really good in the Speedroid deck. This card is a godsend. Pick up 3 of them if you play Ritual. Gotta do it. Lonely Tatsunoko. Should get 2 more of them, just cuz. Now this is a card that's becoming difficult for me to get. Especially considering it was expensive, and I actually scored it for like $6. And really wish we had more synchro pendulums. Really love synchro summoning. Anyways, on to the XCs. You know, your Galaxy package. Look at that, beautiful, from Shonen Jump. This card, I'd love to have 2 of these. Not that you would really need 2 of them in a deck, but whatever, just cuz. I plan on getting more Cyber Dragons, and presumably I'm probably gonna make that deck too at some point. Another Ghost Rare. I'd love to play Medolches, why not? Ultimate Rares. Stock up, get them as quickly as you can, because you know what? These are getting harder to find, and they're getting expensive. Really disappointed. Now, these ones, before the links came out, I was able to score a sweet deal on both of these at the same time. And, yeah, I didn't have to pay too much. I like to buy singles, mostly. Buy packs, you never really get the cards that you're really after unless you buy, like, the entire box and whatnot. And I don't really want to spend, like, $60 to $100 on a box. Rather invest the money. Ooh, Blue Eyes Ultimate. Don't have the other 2. Don't know where they went. Maybe I traded them, I'm not sure. I'm glad we got reprints on Seraphonite. You know, I don't play my Akashi, but I do like the card, so why not? It was cheap enough to justify it. I don't have too many links right now. Borload Dragon should be in the mail. Don't have that. Like I said, I'm not really willing to spend an arm and a leg for Yu-Gi-Oh! Not anymore, considering. Now, I'm sorry to say that's pretty much it for the holos, but if you'd like to stick around, I'll show the common cards I have, and after that, well, actually, these aren't really English, but I figured I wanted to pick these up because Minerva was a YCS promo. Well, YCS prize card. And even if I couldn't really use this, it was still nice to collect. So, on to the silvers and the commons. Love to play Speedroids, one of my favorites. It's a shame though, it's harder to do it with links now. Getting a crystal on the field, and you can't really do like too much more from that. Sorry about the positioning. Hopefully you try to bear with me. But yeah, a lot of fun cards I used to play with back in the day. War Stilts, nice. Hopefully the focus gets everything. At least satisfactory anyways. Now the incantations, of course, I'm waiting for the next one, the ritual version. Got the entire package. Really helpful. Yeah, I like to play the Demise build. Demise and Ruin. I'm really glad we got reprints in those too. It's way overdue, especially for the old ones. Okay. Oops, sorry. Another single. One of these. Oh boy. Sorry, my cards fell over. Some more Necro stuff. You know, lots of good cards I used to play. Medolches, commons. Got a pretty sweet deal on these. Oops. Some more Dragonity stuff. God, I love the deck. And now we're going into some of the, you know, odds and ends. I have 3 of these. Somewhere in this pile, I believe. More Blue Eye support. Now, I really wish I held on to the gold secrets of this, but what happens when you want to make a deal? You want to trade. So I highly, highly encourage, if you want to play zombies, or even if you just want some staples, you should buy the 3 structure decks. Lots of really good staples. Whoops. Ritual Raven for Dark Rituals. You know, some good old cards. Sorry. Trying my very best to position everything for you. Really, really glad these came out. Reprints. Especially if you don't want to... Oh, there we go. There's the other 2. Especially if you don't want to pay an arm and a leg. Got fairly a decent bit more cards to go. I don't want to have too much Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you know. it all adds up in money. Sorry. There we go. Common cards. I used to play with these before. Played with the Ultras. On some really good reprints here. Battle Fader. Especially if you're going to play a Troll Exodia deck. Wonderful. You know, some Herald cards. Really wish I can get my hands on more of them. Gale Dogra, especially. I need a third one. Don't know what to do about the third one. Don't want to really pay like $5 or $6 or $7+ on it. So, if I find a deal, you know, some really old classic, if you want to call it classic, Charmer cards. I'll try to go quicker on this one, so I don't want to occupy too much of your time. Swamp, Mermail, will not build them. Just nice to have. Kaiba Man. Really want to build the right deck, the white deck or whatever. The commons are so ridiculously expensive though. Predaplant, speed up your engine for your brilliant fusions. The Gren, plan on making a Banisher Gren deck. Really need these holified. Gotta get these reprinted. It's only like, what, three different versions? Well, they're the same, obviously, but comes from like a structure deck and like a booster, a couple boosters, I think. Ciphers, don't plan on making them. Sonic Bird for rituals. Again, oops. There we go. Fairy Tales, I plan on getting the rest. I only have Snow and Sleeper, I think. Really good card for counters, especially when you played Pendulum back then, before Konami kind of ruined it. Yeah, spell counters and, sorry, not pendulums, spell books. I don't play too many pendulums. Jinzo, sorry, didn't want to make the joke. I used to have a jump version of this. A lot of cards I used to have. Kind of sold them. Picked up the Japanese version of this one. I don't have the supers, but I do have 3 secrets. What is wrong with Konami? I'm surprised they wouldn't like try to match it. Had secrets, sold those, made a pretty good price. Sold them for a good price. Rainbow Dragon, really want the secrets. Really want this. Some more wind support for the Speedroids. Dragonides. Keeper. You know, some nice extra cards to have, especially if you're going to be a collector. Or even if you, wanting to find a third one. Even if you're not going to be a collector, you just want to play the game, that's fine too. But you should have some nice extra stuff lying around. Some Herald ritual spells, you know, oracles. Yep, these are the spell cards for the rituals I play. I should have showed those first before the spell cards, but whatever. YOLO. Really trying to make sure everything is balanced for you guys. Blue Eyes stuff, mausoleums, trade in. A lot of these commons were expensive. These ones are fairly cheap now. That's good. Messenger. Try to get through this quickly. Necro stuff, Dragonity stuff. I do have the ultimate rare ritual version of this card that goes with it. Gotta look for it though. Place is a bit of a mess. Okay. Zombie World, new structure deck. The Dolces. Really love it. Gotta find a third sarcophagus. Major problem. Trying to find all the versions, especially on the internet nowadays, considering that the price hike is going up for some of them. Like I said, I don't want to pay an arm and a leg. Twilight Sworns, Light Sworns, blah, blah, blah. Some odds and ends. I thought about getting Shino Birds, but I didn't really want to justify making them. Unfortunately, my apologies, I didn't show these ones. Rituals, Ruins. I love this deck so very much. Very cost effective. very justifiable to make this deck kind of anti-meta. Now onto the trap cards, and really, really old card. First edition from Feral of Servant. Mint condition for all these years. Go figure. Wabaku, you gotta have the card. Stops battle damage. Texture monsters. My opinion, it's right up there with Mirror Force. Maybe better, depending. Crush Card Virus. Want to get all the virus cards from the Kaiba collection. Like, a lot of these I've kept in like a tin for all these years, and a lot of them I never really played with too many of them, especially considering they're not really, well, this one's kind of meta-worthy, depending on the deck. Twilights, love it. Like, even the strong zombie structure deck, pick them up, get this card. A lot of these staples will help you, especially this card when you're up against pendulums. Can't go wrong. Sinister Steed, I think I have a Mosaic lying around. Now, for the extra deck, you know, lots of good old commons. Whoops, my apologies, I'll do that again. Try my best to keep this positioned. Really, really love this card. Too bad, though. Should have kept the, I think I had like an ultimate or a secret, not sure. Like, even if they're banned, you should still hold on to your cards. You never know. Like even cards like Graceful Charity, Secret Rare is worth quite a bit. And, you know, more Dolces, commons. Glad I picked these up. It's in your better interest to have, you know, extra copies in case you trade them or you lose them or someone steals them from you. It's always a good way to have, just in case of emergencies. And then just a few tokens. You know, nice little things. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the cards I do have right on hand right now. So if you're interested and you would like to see whatever future deck profiles I'll be featuring in the future, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, goodbye. Thank you.